Man, if the look that I'm serving today doesn't scream, just got back from vacation, I don't know what does. This weekend, I was lucky enough to get a chance to visit Nintendo New York, which is one of the only two flagship stores in the United States. And it's something that's at the top of many people's nerdy itineraries. It's definitely been through some disappointing updates in the years since my first time there, though. I was also lucky enough to have a pretty open-ended souvenir budget, so here is what I thought, and then later what I bought. Now, this was my second time getting a chance to visit the store. My first time being way back when I was 17 years old in 2012, and I was definitely let down by some of the updates to the store since then. So back then, the entire bottom floor was dedicated to a Pokemon Center pop-up with a whole wall of unique plushes and products. I actually still have some pictures from that trip that are fun to show off. The upstairs had a really cool museum-like section showing off not only every console they had ever released, but also some unique special edition consoles, including that famous Game Boy that survived a bombing during the Gulf War. Still plugged in, still playing Tetris. I was trying to figure out why I took this picture back then, and then I realized it's because the gold and silver GBA on display was actually the one I had in my childhood and still have today. This removal of the museum section was a huge letdown for me, and I can't wrap my head around why they made this decision. I mean, I can. It was probably a space issue, but there was a whole corner of the store that, well, it's probably used as an event space, but it was sitting largely empty. There's still a little kiosk with some unique merch from through the years, but it's nothing like what it used to be. Now, despite being a huge Pokemon fan, I do understand why they downsized giving it an entire floor. Pokemon is huge, yeah, but what would make a store like Nintendo New York special is being able to buy products from franchises that don't get represented in department stores very much. Now, rather than the store just being Pokemon, Mario, Zelda, the bottom floor has Mario and Animal Crossing merch, and the top floor had Zelda, Splatoon, Metroid, Kirby, and Pikmin. There is a high-quality Pikmin section that made me so happy. The issue with this layout, though, is that the Pokemon corner was so much more crowded than the rest of the store. Like, it was this little alcove with the Pokemon stuff, and a lot of people were crowded in there. Like, you kind of had to get your turn to walk through it. And that's because Pokemon is so popular. And with the downsizing, a lot of the merch I noticed was kind of picked over, other than the newer collections. I was surprised to see the red and blue game music collection stacked on the shelves, and they had a decent amount of them left. I know those sold out online pretty quickly. I personally opted not to buy one, but I was a little bit tempted. With Pokemon being the most popular, I couldn't help but notice that the products in this section did seem a little bit more expensive than the rest of the store. Maybe it was my imagination, but either way, I actually opted out of the Statue of Liberty Pikachu or anything from the Ditto As collection, because I just found the price tags to be a bit more than what I wanted to spend on what is ultimately a pretty small plush. Speaking of stock and prices throughout the store, I have to say I was pleasantly surprised by both. It seemed like every franchise had a good mix of high-quality clothes, bags, home goods, stationery, knickknacks, and toys. The only franchise that I feel like got a little bit of the short end of the stick was probably Metroid, with like only a couple of t-shirts, a hoodie, a water bottle, and a calendar. But that's just a testament to how great the other sections are. Splatoon fans, I'm so sorry. I really didn't spend a whole lot of time in that part of the store. Just not really a big Splatoon person. I've never played it. Maybe I should. I was more enamored with the absolutely glorious Pikmin stands. Seriously, there was so much Pikmin love here. They had stationery, they had home decor, they had these blankets that I loved but I opted out of. I loved seeing those little guys get so much representation. Across all the franchises, it was easy to find products that were more subtle and classy, too. Like, the Animal Crossing home goods weren't just, like, big green leaf plates or Tom Nook's face on a purse. The Zelda products weren't just, we're gonna slap the Triforce onto this blue object. Everything was definitely a step up from Hot Topic. No shade to you, Hot Topic, we love you. In terms of prices, I don't know if I'm just used to like Disney store markups or amusement park markups, but I found most things at Nintendo New York to be pretty reasonable. If you came here on a $50 budget, you could buy a couple of cute things. Like, for example, this Zelda tote was huge. Like, it was a really big bag, and it was made of nice quality material, it has that nice pattern, and it was $45. I have way too many totes, but for something that could easily be a big travel bag, that isn't a bad price. I'll share the prices for everything that we bought during the shopping haul at the end. I could see someone having a ton of fun in the demo section of the store as well. There are multiple kiosks of different games, and there's always one featured on the big screen. It would be a blast to get in a round of Mario Kart with your buddies or your kids on this massive screen. We opted not to do this, but you could easily spend a little while hopping around to the demos or letting your kids try them out. Honestly, I could see this being such a nice break for parents that have been dragged around through FAO Schwartz and just need to let the kids have a little screen time for just a second. And of course, you can buy games and consoles here too. I've seen people ask on Reddit mostly if they think it's worth making the trip to see Nintendo New York. And usually the consensus seems to be no. It's a retail shop at the end of the day, and at most you'll maybe spend 45 minutes here unless you're really milking the demos. But I don't fully agree that you shouldn't use it as a motivation to make the trip. I mean, it's right in Rockefeller Center and next to Times Square. As soon as we left the store, I had the best slice of pizza I've ever eaten in my life. And before we went here, we'd hit up a bunch of other specialty stores in the area. We went to the Lego store, we went to the American Girl store, we went to FAO Schwartz, the Disney store, we went to a fancy chocolate shop, a record store, a bookstore. We stopped in St. Patrick's Cathedral just to admire the architecture. So we could feel like adults again after all of those stops. We were near plenty of boutiques, high-end fashion, live theaters, movie theaters. If Nintendo New York is your motivation to make the trip, you will certainly be able to fill in the rest of your day with shopping, shows, food, ice skating, museums, and you can walk to all of those things from this location. That's probably the best part. Wanting to come to a nerdy paradise motivates you to see a new city? Go for it. I'm lucky to live in Philadelphia and be able to take an easy bus up here. I do know that the Peter Pan line runs all over the East Coast, so if you are in this area, I highly recommend that bus line. It was very pleasant. Okay, shopping haul time. I do want you guys to keep in mind, we are a double income, no kids, one car household, and we definitely treated our New York trip as a little bit of a splurge day, but I was still determined to try and limit what I was buying to be mostly things that are useful. I think in this economy, we are all more mindful of overconsumption and overspending, and I do not need any more plushes, knickknacks, or mugs. And trust me, that was hard because a lot of those mugs were so cute. I was trying to focus on home goods, wearables, office supplies, and things of that type. We ultimately ended up spending about $180, and I was surprised. I thought it was going to be over $200 when we got to the register. I did promise everybody a shopping haul and definitely did not disappoint on the products. I'm really excited about everything that I bought at the Nintendo store, and I wasn't really sure how much I was going to buy going in, what they were going to sell, if I was going to be into it, but we ended up with a pretty big bag. I know I said I was avoiding plushies, but I could not resist this Meta Knight keychain because Meta Knight is my favorite Kirby character and one of my childhood crushes. Don't ask. And I don't see a whole lot of Meta Knight stuff around, so for $11.99 I got this nice cute Meta Knight to either hang from my purse, maybe hang him up somewhere in the house, maybe the spare keys. The thing I'm really excited about, it was the first thing that I picked up off the shelf, and that is this Pikmin sweatshirt. It's like a little bit of a cropped sweatshirt too, so it doesn't come down super low. I think it's just so cute and really, really soft. I love the color, and I thought the price was good for like a character sweatshirt. Again, I don't know if I'm just Disney brained, but when I saw this on the hanger, you expect stuff like this to probably be like $60, and they were actually selling this for $40. I thought that was a pretty good price for a nice sweatshirt. I mean, that's what you could end up spending at Target for something that doesn't have cute little Pikmin on it. Modeling the Pikmin sweatshirt for posterity. So this next thing, I literally picked up at the last minute, and that's just because I literally need one of these in my kitchen, and I saw that they sell them. Maybe a little overpriced. I got Princess Peach oven mitt set. The design is so, so cute. And I got this for $25. Like I said, more than you would probably spend on oven mitts at like Walmart or Amazon or Target. But we've been needing new oven mitts forever, and they were right near the checkout. And I was like, you know what? We're getting cute stuff for the kitchen. I got other cute stuff for the kitchen as well. Pikachu salt and pepper shakers. Again, these were 20 bucks. They're actually a pretty decent size. I feel like they can hold a lot. They are hand wash only, but they are so cute. I should know by heart which one is the salt and which one is the pepper, but I don't. I think 3 holes is salt and 2 holes is pepper. But I'm really excited to have these on my table, and I love them. Practical set of Evolution socks. These were $20. And you get an Umbreon, an Espeon, and of course an Eevee, are really, really soft. And again, this pack of 3 was 20 bucks. Next thing is something for our house that I'm really excited to have. It's so cute. The whole kitchenware section was adorable, and they had this collection that I really loved. I was definitely not in a position to buy everything, and I was torn between a couple of the sets, so I actually told my husband to pick, and he picked out the bowl set. In a set of 4, you get Princess Peach, you get Mario, you get Luigi, who poor Luigi is just always getting hurt on everything, and you also get Toad with a little shell. Again, these designs came in both plates and bowls, and also this really cute storage set. I was torn between which one I wanted. We went with the bowls. They are machine washable, which is very important to me because we do not like to do dishes. They are microwave safe, which is also very important to me. And this set was $35. And the last thing we bought, I had to go borrow this from my husband, but he got a Map of Hyrule wallet that, if you look closely, has a little Triforce symbol on it. This was $17. It was really classy, and he needed a new wallet. And I think as we get older, as much as we love nerdy stuff, I know that I kind of am more into nerdy stuff that's like a little bit more subtle than, like I mentioned earlier in the video, Cat immediately caused problems. She's been in this room for 3 seconds and immediately knocked something over. I think especially now that I'm older, I really like stuff that is like both celebrating the nerdy things that I'm into, but is like maybe a little bit more subtle. Like not like a bright blue wallet with like a big old Triforce symbol on it. Like I really like subtle stuff like this. Not that my Pikachu salt and pepper shakers or my Pikmin sweatshirt are subtle, but they are cute and they're not gaudy. That is it for me today, guys. If you would like to see me tour the shop at Nintendo World in Orlando, Florida, please send me $1,000. Thank you. And I hope all my fellow nerds out there get a chance to head up to New York City and check out Nintendo NYC soon. It was a lot of fun.